Hey guys, it's BTide. If you're enjoying the content here on the channel, consider supporting on Patreon for as little as $1 each month. Links and credits can be found in the description. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to BlackTideTV and a random commentary video. I was just playing with the Kingpin kit here on the Mac 10. You're going to see some pretty great gameplay. I did actually spoil my one rule. I don't think you'll be able to see the very end of this gameplay. I'm probably going to cut it off. Generally, when I make gameplay commentaries, I like to have the entire gameplay. I like to have a story beginning to end, and that includes the gameplay. I don't think we're going to do that here, though, because the gameplay itself was like 15 minutes long, being a headquarters match. But I had a really great start to this headquarters match, and I noticed something. This was the first time I was playing with the Kingpin kit, and I've noticed how much it looks like gold. And there's a problem there that we need to talk about. But this is the first video going out this weekend. I should have uploaded a couple times over the weekend. I was actually pretty busy this weekend. First up, there was double depot credits this weekend in Modern Warfare Remastered. So we had double XP, double depot credits. So I have just been grinding with all of my spare time. I have been on this game grinding because I know how popular the depot opening, the supply drop opening videos are, and how popular the Is It OP episodes are, where I go through the DLC weapons and give you guys a little review of each of the DLC weapons for some gameplay, give you guys my personal thoughts and feelings on the weapons, and I give you guys a little bit of statistics and stuff. Those are super popular, but I can't do the Is It OP episodes without doing supply drop openings, which are also super popular. And the only way I can do supply drop openings is if I grind my ass off and get a whole bunch of depot credits. Before, that wasn't as big of a deal because I would be playing the game quite a few hours out of the day. Now I really have a restricted amount of time on how much I can play the game and how much I can play whatever game I choose. I have to either choose if I'm going to play Infinite Warfare or Modern Warfare Remastered. I don't really have the freedom to jump back and forth anymore. So this weekend with double depot credits, or yeah, double depot credits, I guess they're called depot credits in this game, I was 100% on board. I'm like, okay, we're going to grind the shit out of this depot credits, and I'm going to try and get as many as I can, as I just recently did a supply drop opening. This is the first double depot credits in the game, if I'm not mistaken, so I just did a supply drop opening with 630 depot credits. I'm now up to 226 on last count, and when I'm finished this gameplay, this commentary I should say, I'm back at it as much as I possibly can before it expires tomorrow morning. But tomorrow morning, again, I'm going into work, so I'm just grinding my dick off right now. It's ridiculous. So that's why I haven't been uploading that, and I have been busy in like personal matters doing other things, you know, like living a life. So this video is the first of the weekend. This shouldn't be the same kind of schedule every weekend. I'm going to try and get more and more videos out, more content coming, and of course the best way that you guys can support me in that is by supporting on Patreon. But without further ado, let's get into the actual commentary, what you're here for. With these camouflage / kits in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, these things are starting to get out of hand. And before, I never would have really noticed this because I was always doing first lit camouflage, first lit kit, and this gave me something to talk about. I really like the flashy camouflage. I really like the flashy kits and stuff that were in the game. I got super excited seeing them because I'm like, oh, this is going to be a really great episode of First Look because I can show these off and I can be like, look at how cool this is totally worth it. Or because there's a lot of camos and kits in this game that aren't super attractive. Like there's some that are epics and legendaries that they definitely don't deserve to be rated that high. They should be like commons and rares. There are some epics and legendaries in this game that are they just look like a shit stain on your gun, so you don't even really want to use those things. But then there are camouflage and kits like these ones, which are just absolutely beautiful, like super flashy, bright metallic mineral colors like gold and silver, and even Ancient is another one that I should bring up, which I'll give you guys an image of. I don't personally have Ancient yet, but this is a legendary camouflage from Operation Lion Strike, and this one looks very, very much like royalty. I would call it the poor man's royalty, but that would kind of be overstepping myself. I think it would be more or less the rich man's royalty, because instead of just going through the game and grinding what's actually in the game to get the royalty camouflage, you can just spend your CoD points and end up with the Ancient camouflage, and there you go. It's like a lazy rich man's royalty camouflage. Same thing with Kingpin here in the gameplay that you're seeing. Kingpin is a kit for the SMGs that's mostly gold. There's like gold and there's some silver and there's some like, I want to say like Day of the Dead kind of artistry with these like engravings and stuff, and then there's wood on there as well. I'm not a big fan of the wood portions. You don't see it as much on the MAC-10 that you're seeing in this gameplay, but on like the AK-74U, I want to say, on the MP5, there's a little bit of wood here and there, which really offsets the camouflage. But this isn't a first look camouflage, this is more or less a first look complaint. Because before, I never would have noticed this. I was always just like, okay, we got a really flashy camouflage, it's going to be a good one to review. But now that I don't have time to review all of the camouflages, all of the kits, I'm noticing that some of these things are kind of cheap, and they're really devaluing the actual in-game camouflage. So basically, in the game, as you rank up through the game, you have to get a whole shitload of headshots. It's very difficult to get your camouflage in this game. I recently just got my Exclusion Zone, which is the final master camouflage, the diamond, the royalty, the dark sky. Is it called dark sky? Dark matter? Dark matter, black sky. I don't even know what these camouflages are called in the other games, but it's like the max camouflage, right? This is like get gold camouflage on every weapon, and then once you get every weapon in a certain class gold, you then get Regal. In this game, regularly you would get diamond, but in this game you get Regal, which is very much like the ancient camouflage. And then once you get the Regal camouflage for every weapon in the game, or in other words, get the gold camouflage for every single weapon in the game, then you get Exclusion Zone, which is a super, super cool camouflage, and it's really worth the grind. But that's the thing, a lot of people aren't willing to go through the grind, or a lot of people don't have time, and that's totally okay too. I totally get that. Trust me, I get it. But you really need to dedicate yourself to playing the game to get those really high up rewards. That's why they're so special. That's why they're gold and Regal or royalty or diamond, depending on what Call of Duty game you're playing. You're supposed to go through the grind. Those aren't supposed to be easily obtainable. You're not supposed to just be like, start the game, open a supply drop, oh look, I got the diamond camouflage, better put that on all my weapons from now to the end of time. That's not the point of those things. Those things are to show off your prestige. And I'm not talking about like what prestige you are. I'm talking about the prestige of oneself. Like how great you are. How much time you are willing to put into the game. That's what these camouflage are really for. And to have the Kingpin kit here, which is more or less a ripoff of gold. In fact, it actually looks better than gold on the MAC-10 because the gold camouflage is just gold. There's no special great engraving on it. There's no other special textures. It's gold. And it does look really good, but then when you do the side-by-side comparison with the Kingpin, Kingpin beats it every single time. 9 times out of 10, I should say, because there are some Kingpin kits with the SMGs. Like I said, they have the wood and it makes it look really weird, but 9 times out of 10, the Kingpin kit looks better than the gold camouflage. And all you have to do to get the Kingpin kit, I think it's a bounty kit, but still, it's just opening supply drops, or you can just spend your money, get CoD points, and open up supply drops. I do not condone spending money for CoD points, just to put that out there, but some of you will anyways, and you'll go ahead and you'll spend like $100 or whatever on the game, and you'll get your CoD points, and you can just go ahead and get this thing out of supply drops. Easy. You can do it in one day. You can get this Kingpin camouflage, or this Kingpin kit, I should say, and it's way better than gold. Whereas gold, you have to go through and you have to get 150 headshots, and then you have to get 150 kills without any attachments after those 150 headshots. And then once all of that's done, you then have to go back and get 150 kills while using the red dot sight. That's already 300, 450 kills with 150 headshots included. You really have to sit there and grind through all of these guns to get your gold camouflages and to get the higher up camouflages, and to be able to go into the supply drop system and just purchase something that's way better. It's totally devaluing the grind. Now when I see people that have a gold camouflage on their weapon, I'm just like, who cares? At the beginning of the game, it was a big deal. Gold camouflage, right on. You got a gold camouflage on one of your guns, you're like, fucking look at me, I'm top dog now. I'm one of the first people to have a gold camouflage in the game. And then you started seeing people get the Regal camouflage, and it was like, you would see the Regal camouflage on a weapon on the ground, and you'd run over and pick, and you'd be like, oh, like, look at this beautiful camouflage in my hands, and then you die, and then you wouldn't have it again, and then you'd have to go and actually set yourself up, and you're like, I really want that camouflage, I gotta grind for it. And then Exclusion Zone was eventually revealed, because this one wasn't actually in the game. It was like a hidden unlock where you couldn't actually see it in the game until you unlocked it. So Then Exclusion Zone was first unlocked by somebody, whoever it was, and everyone kind of picked up on it, and they're like, holy crap, look at how bad, there it is on the actual 44 Magnum, look at how badass this camouflage looks, this is like the coolest thing ever, and everyone set out to go and get this thing. But now that there's other camouflage in this game, so many kits and camos, and the art team is working their freaking butts off over at Raven Software, just putting out camouflage and kit after camouflage and kit into this game. We get like a brand new drop to the supply drop system in Modern Warfare Remastered every single month. Every single month we've had a new addition to the supply drop system, and generally we get between 25 and 45 collections in each. That's a lot because there's seven-ish items in each collection, and probably 4 out of 7 items is a camouflage. Rare and common camouflages, there are a bunch of those that nobody really cares about, but the legendary and epic there's a ton of these things in the game, and a lot of them look way better than the camouflage that you actually have to sit there and work your tail off to unlock, and that's a big problem. I think that we shouldn't be getting these really cool looking camouflage and kits in the supply drop system. I think they should have saved the really nice ones for actual unlocks like Gold and Regal and Exclusion Zone. Those are some good examples, but like I said, the Kingpin, the Ancient, why are we making camouflages and kits that look so similar to in-game unlocks? I think we should stay away. We should make the actual supply drop opening or supply drop system camouflage and kits. They should be something more like blues and greens and reds and different colors, like different colors, different textures, different themes, not just let's jump back into the silver, gold, diamond area. Because those should be like the prestige unlocks, like the really hard to unlock, like sit there and grind to unlock these really cool looking like mineral, I want to call them mineral camouflages, because I know there's a mineral collection in the game, but like mineral camouflage, like as in like gemstones and stuff like that. Gemstones should be reserved for people who are going to play the game and really work their asses off to unlock them. So like anything with rubies and sapphires and emeralds and gold and silver and anything like that, anything that you could expect to walk into a jewelry store and see this thing, if there's a jewelry store on your gun, that camouflage or kit should belong to the in-game unlocks and not to the supply drop system, in my personal opinion. I never noticed this before because I was always looking for the super flashy camouflage, and there are super flashy camouflages and kits in the game that aren't like mineral camouflages, that aren't deserving of that final unlock kind of status. But a lot of these things, a lot of the really flashy ones that everyone wants to get and everyone's running, they look very similar to the in-game unlocks. Now, I like how they're doing like the new kind of style with like tactical fighter for assault rifles and reactive for the SMGs. How they're kind of, and Challenger's a really good one too. I like the kits and how they actually change the way your weapon looks instead of changing the camouflage. A lot of the kits have some kind of camouflage element, and that's okay, because you're going to put another camouflage on top of that, and you can still put like an in-game unlock camouflage on top of that. But the fun thing about the kits in this game, this is a brand new feature to Modern Warfare Remastered, the really fun thing about the kits in this game is that they can actually change what your gun looks like but keep the same gun, and you don't have to worry about them like compromising your in-game unlock of like Exclusion Zone or whatever. Like you can put Exclusion Zone on top of a tactical fighter assault rifle, and it looks doubly as cool. Instead of using some other camouflage that you might find in the game instead of Exclusion Zone, you're now using something that you got out of the supply drop system and Exclusion Zone, and the kits aren't really compromising the integrity of the camouflage and kit system in that they're not better than the in-game unlocks. They're just different. And that's what I really like about the kits. I really hope the kits stay in Call of Duty going forward. I'm not sure what they can do with kits and stuff like that in Call of Duty World War II, as that's coming out this year. But who knows? Maybe we'll have like modifiable weapons or whatever. I'm not really sure what they're going to do with the weapons, if there's going to be variants or whatever, but we'll talk about that in another video. It looks like I did actually use most of this time. I didn't think that my commentary in this video would be able to use most of the time of the headquarters, but I really appreciate you guys sticking around for the entirety of this gameplay at this point. I will have more videos coming out this week. I'm back at work again, so I'm hopefully going to do a few different kind of videos this week. I want to get back into epic variant reviews. I've got VPR epic variant review coming up. The VPR, I think it's called the Stalker or something. I can't really remember. I haven't played Infinite Warfare in a while, as I've been grinding Modern Warfare Remastered all weekend. But I've got another epic variant review coming up. I've got a bunch of Visit OP to do. I got a couple weapons from Modern Warfare Remastered, my supply drop opening in Modern Warfare Remastered, the BOS 14, and the, what's the other one called? The D25S that I unlocked. I also have the 2 other new weapons in Infinite Warfare, so the Trencher and the Auger that I'm going to be covering. Just a bunch of stuff that we're leading up to. I want to get back into some first look camouflage, but the thing with first look camouflage is because I don't have as much time to do like those as second uploads, I've got to make them full uploads, and so I'll only be covering certain ones. I'll have a full brand new first look camouflage / kit video coming out, and I'll actually explain the future of the series in that video. But for now, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think about this kind of controversy with camouflages and kits being found in supply drops that are actually very similar yet still better than the in-game unlocks of like Gold and Regal and Exclusion Zone. Let me know your thoughts on this kind of conversation in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Remember to support me on Patreon if you have the chance for as little as $1 a month. There is a link in the description down below. You can also follow me on Twitter at BlackTideTV, also a link in the description for all the latest updates. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.